sweet. Sorry. I was looking at a text from John Paul Franks, our guest tonight.
All right.
Yeah, man. Howdy, Aaron Roberts. It was so cool to hang out with him this weekend. We're going to talk all about that here in just a little bit. You ready? Should I kick
Yeah.
this?
Let's do it.
All right, guys. Welcome to episode 129 of the Drag Driver Pete Show, presented by Summit Racing. Tonight, we're dropping bombs on the Drag and Drive community for 2026. We're rolling out 5 new events for 2026, and one is going to blow your mind. I hope you guys are ready. We have a recap of the short circuit event, and here's a hint. I'll tell you guys: more cars, more damage, more fun, and a ton of donations. Hit that intro video, sir.
Alrighty.
Hey, am I back?
I see
Sort of.
you, but you're not moving.
Am I back now? Dude, what
You're
the heck?
a black screen right now.
What the heck happened? Hang on, I'm going to go out and come back in. Kick us off. Let's get this thing started.
All right. Welcome to episode number 129 of the Drag Drive Repeat Show. In this episode, like Mike said, we're dropping bombs on the Drag and Drive community for 2026. 5 new events. One of them is going to blow your mind, so it's going to be pretty exciting. But first, oh boy, we're not even prepared. We don't even have our slides up here yet. Let me get those pulled up so that we can actually do that. Or they were probably up, and when you left, they're not up.
Oh, yeah. So you're pulling them up?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I clicked over to Facebook to share it, and when I it refreshed, and just everything went black. So what I'm saying is I'm going to need you guys to hit that share button because I'm scared to do it. I'm going to have some PTSD from going to Facebook while we're on live. So what'd you get to, man? Did you do the intro? Did you introduce yourself?
I did not. I was reading the intro for the show tonight.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm Mike Narks, if you guys don't know. The disappearing Michael Narks. Dude, remember we went all this time without any issues or anything, and then now suddenly I click on Facebook and everything resets. It's it. Anyways, yeah, that black, man. Racers and Rods, appreciate that. I feel very strange tonight because I'm not branded in any way. I even forgot my hat inside. So you guys that are watching on YouTube and Facebook get to see my 5 head. But everybody else that's listening on the podcast, just jump over there and make fun of me in the comments. So bring it on. It's very strange getting older, man. You know, like, and you can see I typically wear a hat, so it's very, it's not suntanned like the rest of my face is. All right, guys. My name's Mike Narks. I'm the host of this show and the news that happens on the weekends. And man, I'm telling you, we've had a crazy week here, crazy last 10 days, really, to be honest with you. It's been pretty wild coming into the short circuit. And my right-hand man, my co-host here, Mr. Eric White. Dude, tell him what you got going on, man.
I am Eric White, co-host of the show and news. Everything Drag Drive Repeat related, usually the circuit related, but obviously wasn't able to make it to the short circuit, which seemed like an amazing time. And been working on 6 summer photos. A little behind on that. We're working on some more house projects over the weekend. So, you know, there needs to be more hours in the day and more days in the week, and you know, all that stuff.
Yeah, 100%, dude. The deck looks amazing. We don't even have any photos of the deck you built in here.
No.
We may have to pull that up at the end if we don't run over too far. Well, y'all, it was crazy. It was absolutely wild to be able to hang out with all of our race car friends this past weekend. And listen, I just ask that you guys hit that share button for me. Again, I was trying to do that a minute ago. Something jacked up. So if you guys will share that into the Drag Driver Pete Race Car Friends group, I would appreciate that. That typically brings a lot of folks into the chat here because we got a lot of stuff to chat about tonight. Like I said in the intro, we're bringing on 5 new events for 2026. Going to be a crazy year, man. I'm telling you, going to be crazy for Drag Driver Pete. I can't wait, and we're glad that you guys are here doing this with us. And of course, our sponsors. You know, we can't do this without them doing what they do. So we appreciate them, and it's crazy, man. I've had some really good conversations the last couple of days with current sponsors and also potential new sponsors. Man, it's we're coming into PRI. People got all hyped up at SEMA. I think that's a trip we got to take one year. Maybe not 26, but maybe 27.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty fun just to kind of compare the two. Obviously, we've done PRI for 4 years now, 3 years, something
Yep.
like that. And we've never done a SEMA, so it'd be kind of fun to go out there and kind of compare the two.
Yeah, I think we got to do both. So
Darn, you talked me into it.
Man. All right. Well, listen, thank you to our sponsors, Summit Racing, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil. Man, Driven is on point, dude. Have you seen all the places they've been? They've been all over the place. Their social media is blowing up. It's awesome. Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, who's going to be in our booth with us at PRI, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds, which we are going to stop by their booth. I think I talked to Tyler, and it's going to be there on Friday morning. I think we'll be over there doing some stuff with them in their booth. So it's going to be kind of crazy, man. PRI is coming up very quickly. So we appreciate all of our sponsors. And guys, again, if you're trying to do some shopping right here before the holidays, that's a good spot. You know, we've got discount codes and all that stuff, affiliate links and everything from there. Speaking of affiliate links, let's talk about Summit Racing Speed Legacy, beginning all the way back almost 60 years ago. One man startup. You know, I love some entrepreneurial minded people. And now it's the World Speed Shop. 4 huge facilities in the States, 200 plus catalog editions that you've made the cover on. You took the cover photo on one of those. Booyah. There it is right there. Keep it at the ready. So when you're editing photos, do you have that close to your like 10 more photos? 10 more
Yeah.
photos.
Yeah, I'm looking for that next opportunity to throw pictures in any magazine, catalog, whatever.
Yeah, all that stuff. If anybody can do it, it's you. I believe in you, buddy. They feel your passion. They save you money, deliver fast, and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app. If you guys hadn't done that yet, makes it easier to find parts. And find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram for all your social media, cool car stuff. Or like I listened to yesterday, the On All Cylinders podcast. They do a great podcast over there. They have a ton of different hosts and interviewers, which is really cool. I think we we do a good job, me and you, but maybe we could venture out sometimes, have somebody else interview somebody else. I don't know. We're going to try all kinds of stuff, see what happens.
Yeah.
Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. SummitRacing.com, or the best way to get to SummitRacing.com is also through this affiliate link I'm dropping over here in the chat, because that helps us while also helping you. So essentially what you're already shopping, the deals are the same, all that kind of stuff. It is just a pass through to make sure that Summit feels that they're spending their money in the right way by supporting us over here at Drag Driver Pete. So if you are shopping, hit that. You can find that everywhere, our Facebook, our YouTube, everything.
And Josh here saying he went to his first Summit showroom this weekend. It was legit. It is also dangerous.
That place. It's like a toy store for an adult.
Oh yeah,
it's awesome.
But
and
with all the good toys.
Yeah, right. With all the stuff that now that we're adults, we can get. So it's kind of neat. Yeah, I'm excited. And then of course, you guys know. Hang on. You can grab some of your Drag Driver Pete merch while you're there at Summit at one of the warehouse stores or online, summitracing.com. But I blew right by these and I didn't mean to. Dude, tell us what happened this week with one of our race car friends.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Bang Shift Billy The products are now on Summit Racing. I am super excited for them. Digital clutch controller, wireless button system, both of those are available through Summit Racing. That's a great opportunity for those guys. Make awesome products, and what a place to be able to sell your products than the world's largest speed shop.
Yeah, I mean, and to have a guy that's as cool as Bill Armstrong that has products in Summit, like, dude, I'm telling you, this stuff is next level for him, and it helped him go faster. It's helped a ton of people go faster with the clutch controller, and then also these Billy buttons, bro. It's over with. It's going to be cool. Let's talk about Eric Gibson's deal here. He said, "Thank you for the short circuit event last weekend. It was a great experience, and hope to do it again." We're going to relay some information here in just a minute as well. Oh yeah, and then sorry, Joey Hatfield, I'm running all over you here. We brought a few cars out to the circuit uh, last weekend, and it was a blast. Can't wait to see next year's schedule. Yeah, we're going to talk about that as well. I'm trying to lock that down right now. All righty. Let's talk about some drag driver Pete stuff because congratulations to Bill Armstrong, by the way, at Summit Racing. Getting your stuff in there is a big deal for all race car friends, but especially for our drag and drive race car friends.
Exactly.
What we got here? Oh yeah, drag driver Pete updates. Dude, I'm gonna put you full screen, and you tell them what you got going on there.
All right. So you guys know every year for PRI, we do a different sticker, only 100 per day that we have to give out. You have to come to the booth. You have to ask for the sticker. I have the first version in my hand right now. So this is going to be the sticker for 2025. So,
dude, I love that thing.
Yeah, you've got tire smoke around drag driver Pete. You've got PRI 2025, and you've got the hashtag race car friends. Yeah, they turned out really good. I'm super excited about these.
Yeah, this is going to be a neat one. And again, 100 a day doesn't go very far. So I'm warning you guys, get yourselves to the booth as early as you can during the mornings. Now, Thursday, are we going to should we just take those to the award show on Thursday?
That's a good idea. We hadn't talked about that.
That's probably 100 people in there at least, if not more this year. I mean, there's a lot of people that are messaging, trying to find out where it's at, all that kind of stuff. So that would be a cool one. Yeah, I'm in. I think we do that. I think we add that to bring that to the award ceremony.
I like that idea.
That gives us a reason to walk around and talk to people.
Yeah, we don't do much of that, do we?
No.
We stand up front, but we've got a lot of cool trophies to hand out, so it's worth it.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that in the coming weeks. We're down to like less than 4 weeks to get there. I want to just plead with folks. We've had pretty good response to the Molly Motorsports Toughest Roadside Repair nominations, but we need more. The earlier you can get those in, the better it will be for us to make decisions with, because what we do is we take the 15 or 20 that we get, we narrow them down to several, and then we just bounce those off of different racers. We bounce them off of like Molly Motorsport staff, see which ones they kind of like and all that stuff. So big deal to have as many as we possibly can. And then the Deech Works, I don't think I have a photo here now. We'll leave it up on Jay Grabiak here. Talk about that next. But the Deech Works Award this year is going to go to the quickest 850 class average from 2025. So this year's quickest 850 average. I feel like Deech Works works perfect for that. A lot of their fuel pumps and things like that fit those cars that go that fast. And of course, Mark Campbell being part of that company and him being such an 850 racer really kind of gets that going. And I really enjoy it. I think that would be, something fun to do, and it will span all events except for 8th mile stuff, which we may look in the future at doing some 8th mile 535 or 540 class stuff or whatever. But the reason Jay Grabiak is up here is because I want to know who your vote is from Drag and Drive Ambassadors presented by Summit. Like this, we're giving away 3 of these. Who would you guys think embody the Drag and Drive Ambassador title. I mean, this is a big deal because there's 3,800 racers that will race in drag and drive events across the world. Typically we've done mainly stuff here in the States, but I'm not afraid to ship one of these over to, like the UK or Australia would be a good one because they've got 7 or 8 events over there now. Up into Canada, a lot of those guys come to PRI. So, anyways, we'd like to know who's one of your 3 drag and drive ambassadors for 2025. Yeah.
I like it. You got a place for them to drop those nominations?
I didn't turn it on yet, but yes, I'll have a form here shortly.
Perfect.
It'll be up probably after the show. I would think. I'm not going to mess with it while we're running the show here. All right. Actually, wait. We got to wait on that one. Let's talk about this next piece, and then we'll go into that last photo there.
All right. So live streams at PRI. We have been planning tons of live streams at the booth. Again, we have a 10 by 20 booth this year. So we're going to have a bunch more room. As much fun as it was to have all of our race car friends blocking the aisle, probably not a great idea. So 10 by 20 booth is going to give us a dedicated spot to do live streams. So what we have so far, we have Redwood Rally is announcing their dates for 2026. We have Drop the Hammer announcing something huge. We have Matt Frost coming by. Nick and David Deal are coming by. And then Brian Wagner of Power Automotive Media is going to stop by and talk about their drag and drive build / horsepower wars / new updates, everything that they got coming out. So those are some huge live streams that we're going to be doing at the booth. So make sure you guys are watching the page. We're dropping dates and times for each one of these. Obviously, there'll be live stream for those that can't make it. But if you are there, make sure you come by and check out while we're doing those live streams. Get that news, right away.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's going to be, I mean, like folks will be standing there. We're not going to not fill the alleyway up there. I'm sure it's going to be a good time. It's going to be crazy. And then this here, Mr. Eric, will you please pull out your Sick the Mag magazine, because we are teaming up. It's one of the first times that Drag Driver Pete and Sick the Mag have teamed up. So here's the way this works. They've given us an affiliate code. They're looking for some new subscribers. If you sign up using our affiliate code, it helps us, it helps them. But I don't know why you wouldn't do it and wouldn't already be signed up for Sick the Mag already. I mean, just essentially, it's paper form of probably one of the coolest, outside of Drag and Drive. I don't know of anybody that's doing a magazine that's like this. I mean, it's outside of Sick the Mag, I guess, really. So it's sickthemagazine.com/DDR. I mean, it's super easy. You guys will see that whole program roll out here as we speak. That should be dropping tonight. I think I've got it set up for after the show. So to begin dropping, and all the artwork and things like that will be over the next few weeks. This deal is going to run through the end of the year, through Christmas. So my hope is that, this creates a good friendship within the brands, and that, we can show, hey, we can definitely support you guys. And, they obviously support us with featuring the circuit. And you saw Derek's post from Sick the Mag on the short circuit. So we appreciate them and all the coverage they give us as well.
Yeah.
So pretty cool, man. I'm excited about this. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, we've got a couple days until we get to do some go-kart racing against some other folks. So.
Yep. And obviously we do photos to Sick the Mag of the circuit each year. So we've had 2 years of photos.
You mean that one right there? That's freaking badass of Josh Rich's truck.
Yep, this one right here. So we've got photos. Mike puts an article together. So obviously, I'm sure everybody has seen it, but tons of cool photos. The Challenger down there is looking pretty wild because of the green. You can't see any of it. But
yeah, I was just say I like the blue stripes across it.
So again, amazing magazine. For those that don't know, it's 2 editions, 1 on each side, flips in the middle, coverage of all kinds of drag and drive events. So it's definitely worth it. It's, I think, $33 a quarter is basically when they come out. So It's if you don't have it, you need to get on it because great photos by us and all the other amazing
Excuse me.
photographers.
Great photos by the Eric White.
I do have a couple photos in there, yes.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
again,
awesome to see that. Yeah.
yeah, and Luke does a great job putting the magazine together. Amazing articles from the community, so it's not just sick. I mean, these photos are coming from other photographers and everybody else. So again, I think everybody should have it. It's a great magazine. Tons of just cool stuff in there altogether.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, the one thing I want you guys to take away from tonight is that Eric and I, are committed to the future of Drag and Drive. We're going to talk about some events here in a minute that are going to take a ton of time and effort. And I can't wait, man. I'm telling you, 2026 is going to be insane. We've got a bunch of big things that are in the works outside of those, and then one huge announcement that's coming at PRI as well.
Yeah, and I've got some things that I'm working on that if I can pull it together, it's going to be pretty cool too. So problem is we talk about it all the time. It's just the time. Like,
Yeah.
again, more days, more hours, but I really hope I can pull this together because I think it's going to be super cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. If things can get together, I'm pumped about what's coming. Speaking of coming together, the short circuit was incredible. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. It was absolutely insane. 76 cars showed up, bro.
That's awesome.
Uh,
You were concerned that you wouldn't get 40, so to
Yeah.
have 76 show up is, dude, almost double what you were
Yeah.
looking to get.
Jimmy rolled over on the scooter one time and said, Jimmy Bowles is the track manager at Tulsa. And he goes, I thought you said 43.
Well,
We had 55 at the test and tune and our 76. So it was pretty packed in there, which is what the track needed. And we'll talk about all that in just a minute as well. And then to give you guys anxiety like it gives me, the circuit registration is in 65 days.
that is 2 months and 5
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. That's not very far from right now. And in between that we have PRI. So,
Yeah.
all the fun stuff. All right, sir. Hit us with some driven stuff. We'll do driven, and then we're actually going to flip some stuff around and bring John Paul Franks in.
All right, driven racing oil is the performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether you're launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or even pushing limits in top fuel drag boats and demo derbies. Winning racers choose GP1. It's compatible with engines from classic hot rods all the way to cutting-edge race machines. It's crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil, enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages. GP1 offers the best in protection and performance. And DDR10 is the code that you can use on drivenracingoil.com. Gets you a 10% discount on any oil or any one of their other amazing products. And as you mentioned earlier, Driven Racing Oil on Facebook and Instagram, you can see what events they're going to be at. They are all over the place all the time. So more than likely, they are going to be at an event near you. So you can head over and talk to them in person and pick up products that way as well.
Yep, and always say, hey, we saw you guys on Drag Drive Repeat. All right. Street and Heat kicked off yesterday. Racing today kicked off yesterday with Tech, racing today, and then they're racing at Greer tomorrow. Man, we're gonna talk about this one after we talk to John Paul Frank. So I don't want to give away too much stuff, but dude, a lot of cool cars there, man. I'm getting FOMO. I'm getting FOMO again. I shouldn't do that. Tell us what's up next, though, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, the only event left after Street and Yeet is the Central Victorian Drag and Drive, which is coming up next weekend, November 13th through 15th, kicking off at the Charlton Airstrip in Australia. So again, we talk about it all the time, but there ain't racetracks everywhere in Australia like there is here. So they do stuff like airstrips, which I think is really cool. But we are quickly approaching the last event of 2025, which is wild to say.
That just doesn't seem right to me, man. Like we've literally talked about 50 plus events this year.
Yeah. It's it's been a great year. It's been crazy, but man, it's crazy that we're coming up on the last event, but we're
Mhm.
already have a filling up calendar for 2026. And then when you think about it, sick week isn't really that far away.
No, I mean, I think I posted a week and a half ago that it was 92 days.
Right.
Huh?
So less
Makes me
than 3 months.
scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So yeah, we got to be somewhere in the 80s now for sure. Maybe getting close to 79 days or something like that for sick week coming up. Did I put it in here? Nope, I sure didn't. Well, as we talk about the 2026 calendar, it's filling up fast. So I'll let you talk about the first one, then I'll talk about the one after that.
All right. So new event coming up for 2026, or new dates, I should say, that are released, not a new event. Wild West Dragon Dash. Obviously, this was their first year. They've released dates for 2026, October 21st through October 24th, with the registration being on February 28th. And they are going to be on here with us next week on episode 130. So we'll get to talk to them about this year's event, plus looking forward to next year's event.
Yeah, I'm pumped about that. We should have had him on last week or the week before, but it just didn't work, man. We had so much going on. Trying
This
to
is
get.
cool here.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
how cool,
Buckeye
Becca.
skips his 1 year old today. That's really cool too.
Man, it's wild to think that like these ideas just come out of people's brains and then they happen. Well, let's talk about this next deal here because I don't have any photos of it, of course, in our slides. But um, Drag Driver Pete, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. What's it been like 3 or 4 weeks ago? Think when we set this up.
Yeah.
We're going to host 3 single-day events at Tulsa Raceway Park. We're calling them the Street and Strip Series because what we're hosting with is called Motorama. So it's kind of a throwback to some late 60s, 70s style of event. And so with that Street and Strip, that was what Dragon Drive was called back then. So we're going to host 3 single-day events. The dates are you ready? Are you writing this down? I'm going to build the events on Facebook after this tonight, but April 12th, June 20th, and August 2nd, we're going to host those 3 events. The June 20th event is huge. It will be in conjunction with the largest Ford and Shelby event in the world. Like there's not a bigger Ford and Shelby event that happens. We're going to take over the track that morning. And then I met with that team yesterday and we're actually going to be able to race whatever we have within the Dragon Drive. We're going to be able to race that evening with all of those folks. So that's going to be a Saturday. It's going to be crazy. I think June 20th is a Saturday. Hold on, I'll look. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Saturday. Okay. The sad part is, or the happy part, I don't know how we want to word this, but Eric will most likely be at Six Summer up there that Saturday, so I'll be here doing that event. It's gonna be crazy, dude. We're taking over the world, man. 3 events. I feel that this single day event can bring in, if I I think 30 or 40 cars is a success for this event, especially for the first one on April 12th. One of the cool things is that's like 2 weeks before the circuit itself. So I'm going to do some giveaways within that for entries into the circuit. Maybe class winners get entry into the circuit. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I think it's going to be really fun. And it's within an event that's like a cars and coffee style. So they're going to have burnouts. They're going to have, I really want us to have shitty coffee that sells for $5 or $10 and gets donated. You know what I mean? So we're working through all that. They don't know about donation stuff, so I'm cramming that down their throat. And then burnouts to open, test, and tune, all that stuff. So kind of like what the short circuit was, but just on a single day event, and probably 80 miles worth of driving because 50 just isn't enough, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
So what's kind of the format going to be of this?
Oh yeah, so we are a traditional. We love the drag week format, which is you make a pass, you submit it, then you go on a drive, and then you come back and you make a pass and submit it, and then those 2 passes create an average, and that average is what sets the standings. So it will be a traditional format in that sense because I want these guys to know the stress of either changing over their car, which I think will probably have some, hard tire stuff that runs around. Um, it's going to be kind of cool, man. I think we're going to see a bunch of people come into this, and then of course we talk about feeder series all the time in air quotes, but can will they do a 1-day event and then do a 3-day event and then do a week-long event? Like, is this going to be how we can introduce the bug to people as well?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
One thing here I wanted to show. I forgot to pull this up earlier before we moved on, but Chris here saying Craving Cars will bring updates at PRI for Flying H and their NASA Racing Series for 2026. So we might have to reach out and talk to them a little bit as well while we're there.
Yeah, Chris, send me a message on Facebook. I'll look at it after the show. I'm not clicking on Facebook while we're on the show. So, anyways, that's the Drag Driver Pete Street and Strip series that'll be coming up. I call it a series, but we're not going to do a points thing across that and winners and all that kind of stuff. That may come in 2027, but definitely not for 26. I want to keep it light and easy and loose, and the rule sets are going to be wide, and we're just going to try and gather as many people as we possibly can and bring them into this amazing community that we have we love so much, the drag and drive community. And then we're going to talk about this in just a few minutes, but we're teaming up with Heads Up Hustle to bring drag and drive to a pro mod race, bro. I'm telling you, to be crazy. 20,000 people in the stands, artwork and event and all that kind of stuff is going to be posted tomorrow. We're going to talk to John Paul Franks here just any minute. He is coming up after this segment here. So, dude, I can't wait. I can't wait. 53 events scheduled for 2025, 5 events postponed and moved to 2026. The full list is already up, and we just crossed with the Wild West Dragon Dash. That puts us at 21 events scheduled for 2026, plus the 3 that we just announced for dates for Street and Strip series. I didn't want to put those out early without having them. So we have the Street and Strip series 3, that's 24. Then we're going to have this one with John Paul Franks, puts us at 25 events. Plus, I need to add the final date for the Short Circuit 2026, which will be happening as well. It's going to be crazy, bro. That's 26 events already on the schedule, and we're just barely into November.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, wait till like April or March of next year when this thing really kicks up.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, you guys can find that dragdriverpete.com /event list -2025 or 2026. We've got links to every event. We've got all kinds of stuff. We talk about articles are written about all the events. You see all that stuff on dragdriverpete.com.
Yes.
All right. Let's run through here again. Thank you so much to Driven for being awesome and doing what they do for us here at Drag Driver Pete. And I got to run through J-Wire. We'll be back to J-Wire in just a minute. Nobody avert your eyes. Don't look at it. Okay, let's do some Molly Motorsports and bring in Mr. John Paul Franks after this.
All right, give me 1 second here. I was making notes for us for later. All right. Attention racers and high performance enthusiasts, are you ready to start your next engine build? If so, there's no better time than right now to check out Molly Motorsports all-in-one Power Pack piston kits. With over 1,200 applications, these kits come complete with pistons, rings, wrist pins, and clips, all designed to work together. Visit mollymotorsports.com for more details. For our podcast listeners, Molly is spelled M-A-H-L-E.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait and get to see those guys. They have a huge booth at PRI. Man, I don't think they have a car, but they have a ton of drag and drive guys that we get to hang out with. So I can't wait to see them. All right. Well, let's bring on Mr. John Paul Franks, a guy that needs no introduction. One of the baddest dudes in drag and drive. Hold on. Dude, I do this every time. Hold on. Wait. John Paul, don't introduce yourself yet. There we go. John Paul Franks, Heads Up Hustle, right over here to my right. Dude, what have you been doing, man?
I've been working on this new event we're working on in Michigan at US 131. Excited about it. It's going to be a very different thing for Heads Up Hustle, but I think our racers are going to love it.
Well, and you know, so here's what you guys already know is that John Paul Franks is truly at heart a heads up elimination style racer. That's what he built his car for, was to go heads up racing. But then he found Drag Week, fell in love with that, built a car to go really, really fast, and then said, hey, you know what? I want to mix the two. So for folks that don't know, Heads Up Hustle, you run the first 2 days of the event to set your average. That average then sets the ladder for the eliminations race that happens on Sunday. I love it. You guys have heard my voice up there. If you have watched if you've been to the track, if you've watched anything on the live stream we put out, stuff like that, like it's really, to me, I've said this a bunch, but I feel like it's the only true way to get a drag and drive and an eliminations race in the same area, right? Because it just makes so much sense. That being said, John Paul Frank said, hey, bro, have you seen these pro mods? And I said, yes. I said, man, I do some things with Midwest Drag Race Series. He goes, well, Midwest Drag Race Series does a big race at US 131, which happens to be in Martin, Michigan, which is like right down the street from where Heads Up Hustle is hosted. And John Paul Frank said, dude, what if we mix those? So we got to work. He called Jason, the owner. I called Samuel, the son. Through all of that hard work, and John Paul Frank's really doing most of the work, to be honest with you. I just called Samuel. We came up with this thing, dude. I think it's going to be badass. Heads Up Hustle and Drag Driver Pete teaming up. I'm really pumped about this. So kind of give us the format for this thing, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So tentatively, we're calling it the Heads Up Hustle Showdown. It is September 11th and 12th. Midwest Drag Racing Series is having the Funny Car Nationals at US 131 in Martin. And Friday morning, we will be teching cars in and going on a cruise. And when we get back from that cruise, we'll have 2 qualifiers Friday night. Saturday morning, we'll get a 3rd qualifier and then head into eliminations Saturday afternoon and evening. And it'll be running between nitro cars and jet cars and jet trucks and funny cars. It'll be a blast. There's, as you can see in the pictures there, it's massive crowds, well-known cars, lots of people, and it'll be an awesome opportunity to get drag and drive cars in front of more people. And we're going to have fairly large payouts for the classes. We have 4 classes in mind. We have an unlimited class, we have an 850 index, a 10.0 index, and a DYO class. And that's slightly subject to change, but that's the current working theory. Is that's how the classes, how we want them scheduled and set up. And it's going to be, I have ideas about where we're going to go and what we're going to do for the drive, but it's going to be a really good time. And I don't think some of the people that do some of the smaller events have been ready for how many cars are going to be there. It is 131 is packed when this event happens.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons and tons. So what's really cool about this, in my opinion, is obviously the Midwest team is going to be there with pro mods and all that stuff, but there's several local classes that run within this, and those classes, as of right now, are still going to be there. So I think we have an opportunity to truly, again, introduce drag and drive to so many new people with this event. So 100-mile drive on Friday, I think, is probably kind of our goal, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. 20,000 plus people in the stands. Let's talk about how this is similar to like what you're used to as far as true heads up drag racing.
Yeah. So in heads up drag racing, if people were paying attention, last weekend, import versus domestic happened out in Maryland. And you get a certain number of qualifiers. In this case, we'll have 3 qualifiers. And for unlimited, we'll have an 8-car class. And the fastest 8 cars will be in that class and go into heads up eliminations. So the fastest car will race the slowest car in their first round, and so on down the ladder. And if 9 or 10 cars show up and want to try to get in, only 8 cars are making it in. So you got to be in the top 8, or you're not gonna race for the money. So it's true heads up drag racing, and you got to qualify before you can even have a chance to go into eliminations. And we are going to have a bracket class with DYO and some index classes as well. But the unlimited will be a true heads up class for the fastest cars that are there.
Yep, and it's limited to 8. 850 class is limited to 8. 10.0 index is limited to 16. And then the bracket or DYO style class is limited to 32. So it's going to get pretty interesting. There's never been a time on a Dragon Drive where somebody has not qualified. So like they'll at least make the drive. They'll at least get to make 3 passes down the track. But can they make the show is the question. I think that's going to be the funnest part about this whole thing. I'm really excited about this event. It's going to be way different than anything we've ever done. So.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. Qualifying is actually important, because if you don't go as fast as you can, you're not going to make it for the race.
Yeah.
So that's not a new concept in racing, but for Dragon Drives, I think it is. So.
Yeah, I mean, imagine being a racer that's just used to, you show up and you get to race. Like, you're still going to show up and get to race. We're looking for something like 80 to 100 cars. This could be pretty wild to see people put on the trailer and not get to run in eliminations in front of 20,000 people, man. This is, I can't wait. And you get to race with Midwest Pro Mods, you get funny cars, you get the jet cars, you just get this huge show that's going on. This one may be like the biggest show we've put people in front of. And they're really going to have a chance. So yeah, we're still workshopping the name. I do like the Showdown. I don't know. There's something there that we can get on, but this is a big deal. 22nd year for the Funny Car Nationals for US 131, and we're going to come in and just take over, man. They don't even know yet, so it'll be really fun. We'll be able to jump in the tower, do some announcing, all that kind of stuff when our racers come up, and just, I don't know. And thank you for letting us be a part of this. I'm really pumped about how this is going to work out.
Well, this is a partnership. It's not just Heads Up Hustle. It's Heads Up Hustle and Drive Repeat. And without your connections to the Midwest Drag Racing Series, I don't think it could have happened. So, this is a not just Heads Up Hustle. This is us working together, and we'll hear your voice on the mic again.
Yeah, we can't. People want to do that for sure. They can't wait to hear this.
You got to get ready to talk in front of 20,000 people.
Dude, I'm a little nervous about that, to be honest with you. That's a lot of folks, man. And, people paying attention. So that'll be cool. And I think, like, as you go along and you say names like, I mean, Bryant Goldstone was one of the first names that came to our mind for the Unlimited class. You start talking. I was on the phone with somebody today. I think it was Mark Campbell at Deechworks. I was on the phone with him today, and we were talking about this event. And I was like, man, the cool thing is, like a Pro 420 or Pro Mod class, like if it's a slower Pro Mod, like Dave Adkins has a twin turbo LS 57 Chevrolet that runs like low 4s in the 8th, right? Well, you start showing that car, or maybe a Pro Mod that didn't make a great run. Maybe they only ran it out to 400 feet. Like, these cars that are going to be doing this in the Unlimited class could get really close to those numbers. So like you start saying, hey, these guys drove 100 miles this morning and then came in here and made a 14 or 430 8th mile pass. I think it's really going to mess with people's minds of what Dragon Drive is capable of. Because I think right now they just see it, they see the fast cars, but they don't really put that in perspective. So I think having a really fast car like that, and then having the Pro Mods run down, the next 30 minutes after that, I think people will be like, holy shit, those street cars are really fast.
There's some very fast ones. Look at Brett Lasalo. It's not Rocket 3.0.
Oh yeah. What do you run? 388. I mean, that's pretty.
He ran in the 5s in the quarter for the first time out at import versus domestic.
Yeah. And so that is the next thing. I talk about a lot of 8th mile just because I'm comparing it to Pro Mod, but these are quarter mile classes, right?
Yes. All quarter mile.
Man. Yeah, that's going to be a ton of fun. This is my official call out for Brian Acton and Jay Blanchard to come out here. Think of the number of 850 cars that live within a reasonable distance of US 131 that would come out to be on that kind of stage.
Yeah, there's one right in my background. Right there, the Wonder Wagon.
Yeah, TJ Linebaugh would be awesome. Brian Acton, the Deal brothers could bring out the blue Mustang. It's a 850 killer with Chris Mary driving. I don't know. I haven't seen anybody else put it in the low 850s with anybody else behind the wheel. But hey, Chris could come out and do that. They could bring out the Phoenix car. They've got a SML that's going in that now. Like, that car's going to run low 6s. I mean, it'll be highly competitive, or say 640s. It'll be highly competitive with the the javelin and all that stuff. And then, you're talking about payouts. That's not something that's normal for Drag and Drive. So this will be really, really fun, man.
Well, we're excited, and I'm very thankful for your help and your partnership.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. So if any sponsors are out there, you want to get involved, come on, let's hit us up. We'll get some stuff rolling, and all of that stuff's going to drop. We're going to see some artwork and details coming out about that on tomorrow. I want to finish up just a couple more things on artwork for it, and then it'll drop and be out. And like I said, blow your mind. This is going to be a big deal. So thank you, John Paul. I appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Have a great evening.
All right, buddy. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Dude, I'm telling you, this event's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, that sounds like a ton of fun.
Yeah. And heads up, we don't do a ton of that in Drag and Drive. And I think to also have the 3 rounds of qualifying, actually, dude, if we have 12 850 cars, and there are only 8 are making it. You know what I mean? So these folks that are entered are going to have to pay their way in, and then they may not make the show. How crazy would that be? That's not how Drag and Drive typically works. So I'm really excited about how this is going to come about. So
anyway, that's not horribly far from me either.
Dude, we've already figured that you're coming, right? I hope yeah, Jay Blanchard in here saying, dude, I know what you're thinking. This is going to be crazy. So I'm really pumped. I'm excited that John Paul is willing to take this on. I mean, this is a big deal for Drag and Drive, just in the amount of work that goes involved in getting sponsors around this, recruiting racers, all that kind of stuff. But then also this is a whole new level. I've hosted heads up shootouts before, and man, you got to have your rules right. You got to have them right from the very beginning. And it's just a whole new level of brain damage, man. So guys get pretty serious if they're paying money to win money.
Yeah. What would really be cool is to pair up some of the Drag and Drive racers against some of the Midwest racers.
I mean, listen, I done thought about some call outs and exhibition runs and things like that. So, if you're an unlimited car, let's say you have 2 bad runs and suddenly you don't make it, right? But you're still very fast. I mean, say you're, 4s to the 8th, you could probably get some from one of the Pro Mod guys. Like, they run a slammers class, a second chance race. So if there's say there's 3 racers in that, you could get in on some of that, some heads up stuff. It'd be pretty fun to see the Javelin or the Corvette go up against a real deal Pro Mod,
Yeah. Yeah, I would that would be a ton of fun. I think that would blow some people's minds in the stands when they see that the vet out there and cup holders and watch him leave out of the track and go on a drive. People are going to be turning their heads going, what?
Well,
what is he doing?
Right. And I think the good thing is, one, you're going to be able to pit with your truck and trailer. We're not going to do anything outside of that. But, you come back in from the drive, say you come back in at 2:00 on Friday, the stands are full. People are mingling around doing stuff. And here comes these 92 cars driving in with little trailers. They're all got license plates. I mean, think of how that is going to make the crowd react when all of these cars come pulling in and parking their pits and get ready. And then we're up in the tower telling, hey, y'all remember that car driving by you? That car made a 100-mile drive this morning. Oh, shit, he just ran a 6:38 in the quarter mile, So
right. Yeah, that's going to be cool.
Yeah, it ought to be pretty fun. The bracket stuff, again, those cars generally bring out a lot of variety. And so I think that'll be a ton of fun there. We don't want to cut anybody out, but it's only a 32-car field. So I don't know how you qualify for brackets, if it's off of reaction times or what, but we're going to figure it out from there. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. So so be watching Drag Driver Pete for updates on that event. And like I said, I'm going to post all the stuff tomorrow, and we'll go from there with, when the event is and what the official name is. So if you guys have good names in your mind, hit us up. Heads Up Puzzle, insert name here is what I have right now in all of my write-ups. Thank you so much to Molly for what they do for us, man. Eric Grillo is a beast. Love those guys over there. Thank you so much to them. We'll see them in a couple weeks at PRI.
Well, that we will.
All right, let's jump in here. Let's talk about J-Wire Solutions, since Jay is in here right now. I'll read this one real quick, and then we'll tell some stories about Street and Heat, and then finally get to our coverage of Street Machine Drag Challenge. So it's been a little bit. J-Wire Solutions is your expert car and marine wiring solutions provider. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, your race car, your drag and drive car, your sand rail, your buggy, your snowblower, anything you've got that's got wires, Jay can do it. I guarantee it. Plus, they offer a ton of products. Like I love the new Holley intake tray that's it sits right on top of the fuel rails. Love that. And then also, we talk about the blinker module all the time. We talk about the heater bypass piece that they have. I mean, like just a lot of stuff. And what's really cool about the J-Wire stuff is it's literally Jay Blanchard coming up with a lot of those products, and he is a multi-time drag and drive champion, and building a truck to do drag and drive. It's just, man, Jay is awesome. Love that guy. Appreciate him for all he does. And I'm sure he's tired of me talking about nerdy stuff with him, but it's only begun, buddy. It's only begun, I promise. So first up, I wanted to cover some Street and Yeet content, just really kind of talk about they're live on Spooled Media right now. Let's talk about this real quick here. They don't publish time slips or standings until the final morning. How does that make you feel? Is that pretty cool? Or
I think it's cool, but as a racer, I'd be a little nervous because you got to pay attention to the people that are in your class.
Yeah, and that's what I love about it, right? Because like, let's just say that you show up late. Now you don't know what other people have ran. The one cool thing about having a live stream now is like you could go back and watch that, but can you really go back and watch the live stream as you're driving, write down the notes for the people in your class,
Right.
all that fun stuff. So I really think he's done a great job. Sorry, I just kicked my tripod. He does a great job of putting all that together and not giving that information out because it's going to make you really push your car that much further.
Jeremy, another guy we're going to see here at PRI as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited about hanging out with all these folks. Hey, Jeremy, since you're going to PRI, holler at us. I want to talk, see if you want to do some live stream stuff in the booth while we do that. Dude, I thought the Z28 was freaking gorgeous, man. Look at that color.
That looks, what I like about that is it still looks like a 70s Camaro. It doesn't look, it's still got that original look to it. Besides obviously the meaty tire, but that is gorgeous.
Yeah, big time. I love that. I only grabbed 2 photos because we're going to do a full wrap up on this next week. We'll talk about all the cars and events and all that kind of stuff. Jeremy, I'll send you a message after this tonight. This C10 Suburban, I'm a huge fan.
I like that.
Yeah, canoe on top. So anyway, Spooled Media, be watching it for the next couple of days. That's where I'm going to be hanging out all afternoon. No, I'm going to mail it this week. I promise. I have not been to Walmart to pick up a box yet. So,
Dude, you live in the Walmart capital of the world. How have you not been to Walmart?
It's been amazing, man. I haven't had to go. It's been awesome.
See, it's fine. It's been sitting at his place for like 3 weeks now. It's all good.
Yeah, I will get it in the mail tomorrow because I got some other stuff to mail to some people too. So I'll get it out. I promise. Sorry. Dirty Panda's going to kick my ass. He said the other day, he goes, I could have just taken it to him by now. I was like, dude, that's probably the best idea. Eric knows I'm horrible at shipping stuff.
So do some racers that order a sticker and don't get shipped out.
Hey, I've got that fixed. That's on its way. All right, let's talk about Street Machine Drag Challenge, dude. This is crazy. 10th running. It ended a week ago. 2014, first year for this event. It's wild. It's the second longest running drag and drive out there. Like, it's super cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's run through these winners here real quick from that event, and then, man, we're going to be over tonight if I don't get myself in gear here.
Let's go. All right. We starting out here. First one, Radio Blown. Brandon Zito with a 30.088. Quickest of drag challenge plus the quickest single pass at a 742 and quickest Chevrolet.
Mm-hmm.
So theirs is total time, right? So
Yeah, because I think they had 3 days of 8th mile times.
yeah, so the times are going to sound a little weird as we go through these, but the top 4 cars in this radial blown class all had a 30 point something something something.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously very very competitive, but again Brandon Zito with the 30.088 taking that one.
Laid it down. All these photos that are in here are from Street Machine Magazine. I want to give them credit for all that stuff because I stole it right from their website. So appreciate them being awesome and doing all this stuff. Outlaw Aspirated. I think that's the next photo here. Maybe. Yeah. Outlaw Aspirated Michael Ryder with a 37.492, and he is the quickest Holden of the event.
Nice. Outlaw Blown was Alan Vila with a 32.158. Also the quickest Ford. Second place, right behind him, was Stephen Mill Khalif. What I'm going with?
Yeah.
Micallef, 32.284. He was the quickest without a trailer.
Yeah. I love those kind of awards. Radial Aspirated goes to Paul Wood, which I think is nope, that's the Micallef guy. This one here, Paul Wood, 33.747 for him in Radial Aspirated.
235 blown was Tom Wright with a 34.457.
Actually, I think I'm way off there. Yeah. 235, dude. I love the tires. I love small, tiny tires. 235 aspirated, which is naturally aspirated. Louis Giannis, 35.409. So not far off. I mean, 1 second total off of the 235 blown. Pretty crazy.
Yeah. The 6-cylinder is Anthony
I think we figured it was Spadavecchia from the last show.
Yeah. I wouldn't have got there on that one, but yeah. Anthony had a 34.052.
Yeah. Pretty fast for 600. 8.5 radial, which I think is the width on that. Brad Schreiber with that is the 33.601.
And then the 9.5 radial first place was Kevin Cox with a 37.589. But listen to these here. Second place was Alex Bird with a 37.613. And third place, Phil Dynan with a 37.653. So very close in that 9.5 radial class.
And when you start thinking about total ETs, that's really close. Not average ETs, total ET. Like that's really close. Stick shift winner Zane Heath with a 40.827 with the quickest 4-cylinder and taking the stick shift winner. That's pretty awesome. James Miller coming in second with a 49.47, and then Bruce Howie coming in third with a 41.142. So a total of 0.3 separated the top 3 total ETs. Pretty awesome.
Yeah. And then the last one here was the Hard Luck Award, which we had shown this on, remember, I think it was a Saturday show on one of our news, but Daniel Smith with the Celica, dude, the hood popped off at 150 something miles an hour.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. You can't see underneath that hood. Like you're blind at that point with this one.
Yeah, that's why if you look close at the photo there, it's actually like, look at how flat that front tire is. Like, I think the tire is worn through there. Like, it's not just flat. I think it's like the entire tire is gone. Yeah. So pretty crazy. Right at 150.
Yeah, the hood obviously folded itself up over the windshield to the roof.
Yeah, you can see it laying on the roof there.
Yeah,
so pretty wild, man. Glad he got it settled down. I'm sure that car's probably running now,
Yeah. As I say, didn't hit anything, so everything worked out good. But yeah, it's change of shorts and pull off the hood and replace the tire, you're probably good to go.
Yeah, that's right. Well, man, congratulations to all the racers at Street Machine Drag Challenge. I've got that. That is one of obviously the last national level events that needs to be added to the Drag and Drive World Champion points and the historical list of what I'm keeping there. So, I think that's 13 national Drag and Drives across the world, which are 4 days or more. And a solid car count. There's not really a base car count, but somewhere in the 150-ish range, 120s, something like that. We want good competition across the whole board there. So pretty awesome, man. I can't wait to see kind of how that all shakes it up. I think that's the only week-long drag and drive in Australia currently. So not a lot of those guys are going to go around the world, but there are a lot of records and stuff that will have fallen this year because the cars are a lot faster.
Yeah.
So thanks again to JWire Solutions for all his support and just the constant answers and help. I'm kind of an asshole with him. I call him and say, hey, what about this? Hey, what about this? So I'm sure he would do that with real customers as well. So if you have any questions for Jay, give us a holler. We'll get you in touch with him, or just go right to him at jwiresolutions.com.
Yes, sir.
All right, let me run through these, get back to the end here. I'll let you do some race car friend stuff.
All right. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Feel like we're right about on time here, halfway through the show. Appreciate all the race car friends that have tuned in and watched the show so far, made comments. And again, the sticker, that's why it has race car friends on the sticker. These are for you guys, and we wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for you guys racing, for us to talk about, supporting us. So appreciate all of you guys and our sponsors. We talk about it all the time. We cannot do this without them. We've got affiliate links. We've got discount codes. If you need anything from any of these companies, reach out to us. We'll get you in contact. But thank you to Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, JWire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performabuilt Transmission, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's talk about some Deechworks stuff as we move into the next bit here, where we're going to start talking about the short circuit. This is where we're going to go over a lot of the stories and stats from that event. So Deechworks is a leading manufacturer of high-performance fuel system components. The DW product line includes fuel injectors, pumps, rails, regulators, filters, lines and fittings, plus pump modules and surge tanks, all engineered to support power levels ranging from 400 to 2,200 or more horsepower. With a focus on engineering excellence and industry-leading customer support, Deechworks continues to drive the future of high-performance fueling. Of course, Deechworks.com. And when you're on there, you're looking at all the cool stuff. They've got a ton of new brushed fuel pumps, as well as some of the brushless fuel pumps as well, that debuted at SEMA, that are going to be bringing them to PRI. You can use code DDR10 to give, obviously a 10% discount on anything that you get from the website right there. And they've got a ton of cool merch as well. So support those that support us. We appreciate you guys and all the times that you guys have purchased stuff from Deechworks, because they're a big supporter of ours. All right, well, let's talk short circuit, because, dude, it was crazy. It was crazy. I want to thank the sponsors that came on board for it real quick. So Summit Racing, obviously our title sponsor there, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Deechworks Fuel Systems, Maverick Dent Company, who's owned by a racer that came, Eric Carroll, Cornerstone Performance Transmissions, who is a diesel transmission repair specialist in Texas. That's Alex Arquette, another drag and drive racer. Morrow Photography, who is Melissa Morrow, who is our official photographer of the event. And then Brandon Parker, who came up, and dude, I can't say thank you enough to Brandon. Not only did he donate $60 for the quickest 60-foot time, but he also spent hours and hours and hours and his own money at a hotel room and everything, so he could be there to help me put this on, because it was pretty wild. Like there was a point where I had a moment, which is okay. It's fine to cry a little bit. It's all right. The time. Oh shit. Sorry. There we go. That's what I was looking for. The not having Eric White there was pretty tough. Not having Melissa, my wife, there, that was pretty tough. Did not expect that to be as hard as it was. And then Stephen Narks, of course, he was there coming up. And when I look at what we did with the short circuit, thinking we were going to have 45, 50 cars, maybe, to have 76, nearly double what I thought, man, I truly almost called the wife and was like, hey, I'm sorry, you're going to have to come over here. You're going to have to tell those people you can't go there because you got to come here. But we pulled it off. And again, big shout out to Brandon. Big shout out to Zoe, his niece. She came up, rock stars, My mom, it was the first event for her to come to for Dragon Drive stuff that I've done, and threw her to the fire, man. She got right in there and got everything going. It was pretty awesome to see everybody pull it off. And I had all the like inputting the time slips isn't hard. It's all the other things, like all the questions that people have. We sold a ton of the merch. Hundreds of shirts were sold. Just, I mean, one, they're $5, but we needed to get rid of those. So Zoe was down there, Brantley, Stevens' stepdaughter, she was down there just hammering out. Little Lincoln was over there slinging some shirts. It took a village, because on Saturday, when the short circuit racers would go up, I would go to the tower. The first round of racing I recorded, but then the second and third round, I went up to the tower to help announce, because they weren't even in the system. The numbers were, but they weren't like in the system with names and stories and all that kind of stuff from the tech cards. So I was up there asking questions, and the guy, Dean, was like, "Hey man, if you want to come up here the next time your folks come up, please help me. It'll help the announcing." So did that, but I got to, also announce some stories, and that kind of let everybody know they were going to be up. But what was crazy is we worked in with the bracket race. Big shout out to Jimmy Bowles for making this happen. And he guaranteed us 4 passes. We got 5. It was wild. I really thought we would have a lot more downtime between the rounds, but dude, Tulsa Raceway Park was a well-oiled machine on Saturday. They weren't playing. There was a couple well-oiled track bits too, because we had some people blow some stuff up. But once we got past everybody blowing stuff up on Friday night, we kind of got it was fine. It was fine after that. So yeah, Saturday was crazy. But big shout out to Brandon. Big shout out to my mom. All them started with 78 cars, finished with 62. So no matter whatever kind of event you host, 20% are still going to fail. Is what I got from that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some winners from the event. So I'll let you run through these while I flip pictures and show comments.
All right. The Geezer Award by the Maverick Dent Company was Don Gould.
I should have put the notes in there about how old. It's 74 years old out here cruising around. I said something in the award ceremony. Look, the next generation's needed. We need kids involved, right? But dude, we need old people too. We need people to tell stories of what it was like back in my day, or what happened back when. I was here in 1986 at the track. So
Right.
Big shout out to Eric Carroll for hosting that award.
Yeah. Plus, who's gonna tune the carbs? Because I couldn't find the up and down arrow on Dad's carb. I don't know.
Yeah, Don can definitely do that.
The next one, the furthest traveled by the Maverick Dent Company, was Phil Balmaceda in the vet there. So what was it? 572 miles that he traveled to come.
Yeah, and the biggest thing with that award is that they had to drive their car. So Phil was peer pressured into coming up, and ended up taking home a super cool what do you call it, tumblers from Maverick Dent Company. It's pretty awesome.
And what I thought was really cool too is he had people gave him money to make it to the event, and then he donated. Didn't donate the money, but bought clothing to donate, which really cool. So big shout out to Phil for being awesome there.
Yeah, so you get peer pressured into spending all that money, and then you spend the money that people donated to to the charity. Is pretty cool.
Yep. Quickest female by Morrow Photography, Abby Larson.
Yeah, she kicked ass 10-0 out of this Trailblazer.
Nice.
10:45 was her quickest pass, but she ran 10-0s all weekend. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Sweet. Do you have one for the next one?
I don't, because this was won by 3 people, but I can't remember who. I know Michael Baker. Sorry, go ahead. Announce the name, and then I'll talk about the winners.
The next one here is the Biggest Energy, which we talked about this when we were rolling out all the awards. Again, this is by Morrow Photography as well.
Yep. So Michael Baker with the Suburban, Dustin Peterson with the Cornhusker Cougar, and then Eric Carroll who is the owner of Maverick Dent Company, who basically him and Alex Arquette peer pressured Phil Balmaceda into coming up.
Love it.
Yeah.
And then our last one here, the quickest 60-foot time, again, sponsored by Brandon Parker himself. Is it Quanzo? Quanzo. I always screw that one up. One of my favorite cars from the circuit. No matter where you take a picture of that car, it always looks good.
Yeah, Charles Judd did a great job on this one too, man. There's another shot later because Boo won one of the classes, but man, it was cool to see it out and doing what it's supposed to do, you know?
Yep. All right, then we move into the U versus U class here. Dalton Howard won with a .02 spread. So 3 passes here, 11,241, 11,250, and 11,261.
Yeah, pretty badass. And the 11,241 and 261 were on Friday. So actually, I don't know how many passes he made on Saturday, but if it was, I think he made at least 2.
Yeah. So that's the winner, Dalton, with a .02 spread. Michael Baker in second with a .022. Third place, Eric Gibson with a .025. Fourth place, Abby Larson with a 0.026.
Yeah.
So like this U versus U was very tight. 11 racers finished with less than a 10th spread.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. It was that it's a tight class, and we're going to talk about it in a minute, like how tight it was when they left day one. But like Abby's passes, 10:045. She was the quickest in the class at that point. 10:045, 10:051, and 10:071. Yeah. So 026. The way we do that spread is the spread between your quickest and slowest submitted pass.
Yep.
Is the easiest. And the reason we only did 3, we did 2 on Friday and 1 on Saturday, is because I didn't know how many passes we were going to get, because they had like 80 something bracket cars there, and I didn't want to make people make 4 passes and be there all day if they didn't need to be, you know, to get their good 2, you know. So
yep. Sweet.
Yeah.
So that was the U versus U. Next class here is the 12.0 index. Jeff Short with a 12.023.
Yeah, he's a badass.
Yep.
He's a badass.
Yep. And then second place, Norman Cornell with a 12.07. So again, another super close there. Best ET of the class went to Norman at a 12.002.
Yeah.
So pretty cool there. And then you'll have to talk to the story here because I don't know the story.
Oh, the David Miller. Did I put it in up here?
Matt Fling blew another motor.
Yeah. Hey, if Sean or Matt are watching, send them photos over, man. Yeah. So Matt Fling was entered in 12.0 index and was like the 3rd car down the track on Friday night, and just spectacular fashion blew the motor up in the Grand Marquis. You guys will remember it. It's the tan Marquis with a Pro Charger on it. It's awesome. 666. He blew the motor up. Same thing here. It's pretty hilarious. I was really hoping he would send me the photos, though. They were supposed to a little bit ago, but I haven't got them yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Dang it.
So, yep. So that's your 12.0 index. Next class here was the all motor. David Miller finished with an 8.935 average.
Yeah, that dude's a beast.
Yeah, second place, John Doherty, 10.277. So David laid it down there.
Yeah, he was looking for a lot more. And we'll tell that story here in the next bit too. That car, definitely one of my favorites. He was so low in the trip, and anytime that car started, he had earmuffs on. It was so loud because I don't know if people can see it, but the exhaust dumps like literally behind the front tire, and it's a big block Chevrolet with all the cam. So yeah, yeah,
I like it.
It was pretty awesome,
and great shot there too. By the way,
yeah,
love that. Yeah. Next class, quick stick. Phil Balmaceda, again, 10.613 average. Over second place, Rich Van Allen with an 11.979. So what this tells me is if you want to win a stick shift class, bring a Corvette.
100%.
So what was cool about this is Phil was the Circuit 2025 stick winner, and Rich was the 2023 Circuit stick winner.
Yeah, those guys, they put it down, man. It was pretty cool to watch them. And Rich Van Allen brought his wife, so that was pretty cool for her to experience this. And I think that's why the short circuit is going to work so well, is because it gives you don't have to have like a know it all guy, because there was no point where we were more than 50 miles from the track.
Yeah.
So you could have jumped in with somebody else if something happened. So, I think this short circuit is going to give an opportunity for people to bring some spouses. So tell us about the fastest class, though.
The Power Adder class. This one here, we talked about it. Boo Kwamso, 8.149. Great to see him back again. Circuit veteran from year past. Second place, Neil Torbert with an 8.338. So not far behind Boo. And third place, Dan Sates with an 8.616.
Bro, Power Adder was legit.
Yeah.
It was great. We're going to talk about some fun. So this segment here is about the winners. The next segment is about stories. So stick around is what I'm saying.
And then last class here, the 650 index, Scott Barker with a 6.7193 with a best ET of the class, 6.541.
Yeah, this 650 index, I included it because we had so many 650 index at the Circuit 2025.
Yeah.
So Scott Barker, hey, that was your one chance, because it won't be that small next time. So it was pretty crazy, man. It was a good time. That car is gorgeous. Him and his wife, big shout out to his wife, April Barker, who was also racing the dart. But on Friday from like 5 o'clock till 7:30, she helped me at the booth. She was packing goodie bags and stuff like that while I was getting people checked in. I really appreciate her. It took a village this time, man. It was pretty wild. So thank you to everybody that stepped up and helped, for sure.
Yeah. What I'm hearing is your wife and I need big raises, because it sounds like it was a struggle without us.
Y'all get paid? Yeah, definitely needed you guys. It showed how bad it was. But, this was an event that was literally put on, decided a month ago, not even a month ago, probably now. You bastard. Just think, if you had put out the circuit photos like in September, or it'd have been fine. I wouldn't even have thought of it. But man, it was a great time. We had a blast, and I don't know. It's definitely coming back. I'll say that right now. We're going to talk about that in the next segment, as well as kind of where I'm looking, all that, dates and ranges and things like that. So congratulations to all the winners. Congratulations to all the runner-ups. Congratulations to the people that were in 13th place. If you guys want to see the full results, I've got those posted on a couple different posts within the Drag Driver Pete Facebook page and the Circuit Charity with Horsepower page. But I'll go ahead and pin those after we do the show tonight. I'll pin those on Facebook so people can go right to them. It was crazy, man. I mean, I'll just pull up. Oh, dang, I closed it out. Oh no, here it is. So to give an example, come on, help me out here. It just, man, everything since the refresh is killing me here. For the Power Adder class, there were 8 cars that ran in the 8s. 6 cars in the 8s. Dude, it was really fast. Everything was very fast and very fun. Again, thanks to DeechWorks for all the stuff. We're going to talk about all this stuff here in just a second. I guess I could have said that, but thanks to DeechWorks for all the stuff they do and all the stuff they've got planned for 2026. That's all I'm going to say right now. So appreciate them. And the call today with Mark was awesome. He's so smart, dude. It's hard to talk to somebody that smart about all this cool stuff, because we were also, we talked about Drag Driver Pete, but we also talked about the old truck and what I've got planned next with it, and then a project that's kind of kicking around in the back of my mind. So DeechWorks.com, DDR10 for your discount there, and just go there and shop, see what they got going on. Let's do some Performer Built Transmission segment and talk about some stories from the short circuit.
All right, Performabuilt is the official transmission builder of Drag Drive Repeat. At Performabuilt Transmissions, the goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet, period. Performabuilt doesn't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and to achieve the highest levels of performance. That is why they say their transmissions are not just built, they are Performabuilt.
Oh yeah, love Ryan and the team up there. The next setup here, the photos aren't in order. I'll just tell everybody that. So when we're talking about something and the photos up, it may not be about that person. I
Fair
didn't have
enough.
time to put all that together. There's a lot of stories that were coming along in here. So, but the first up is correct because, dude, these donations, this whole bin, you can't see it in this photo. So, and I didn't put the ones from the ground, from there. But, dude, this thing is it's mounded inside. Like this is probably a 2.5 or 3 foot by 2.5, 3 foot, and 2.5 or 3 foot tall, and it's full. So big shout out to Phil Balmaceda who donated all that back and all that stuff. What we got here, T. German, whose rule book is the Drag and Drive groups using as a universal rule guideline? This is a great question. Let's come back to that after we talk about the short circuit because that is a great conversation to have that we'll end the show with. So. Good one. Hang out for a minute. We'll talk about that because that's a great point. Dude, the donations were crazy. So we asked for cold weather clothing because the charity we support in Tulsa is obviously Youth Services of Tulsa. I've talked about that before and why we like them and what it does and pivotal moment in a kid's life and show them cool cars or cool people, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to get into all that. But when I rolled this in, the lady was like, is this all like jackets and stuff? I was like, yeah, and there's some, clean underwear and socks and a bunch of beanies and gloves and things. And she was like, thank you so much. So to everybody that donated, thank you so much for what you did. These kids that end up on the street, a lot of times they don't have anything when they leave their house or they leave the whatever situation they were in that put them as, what made them homeless. They may just be leaving with the clothes on their back. So this is going to help a lot of those kids to get jackets. And a lot of the stuff was cool stuff, man. I mean, like Youth Services of Tulsa will take gently used clothing as well, not used underwear or socks, but gently used rest of your clothing. So if you have some stuff, sleeping bags, suitcases, all that kind of stuff, we highly recommend if you're anywhere near Tulsa, please support them because, man, it got cold last week. Like it got cold on Sunday. So I can't imagine, half this thing was probably gone on Sunday afternoon to some kids. So big shout out to Blake Flores. Him and his wife brought like 100 prepackaged matching beanies and gloves. And it was just so cool to have all of that stuff there. And just like the story you were telling earlier, Phil Balmaceda, and I think his girlfriend's Lauren. Sorry. Woodard is her last name. I don't know why I remember her last name, not her first name. But they took the money that was donated to him to come up and, peer pressure him into the event. They used that to buy a bunch of new stuff at Walmart. So it's pretty awesome to see all of that stuff come together. So thank you to everybody that donated. We really appreciate it. This is probably something we're going to keep doing as far as all of that goes. But we'll run through some of the stories here. I don't know how we want to do this. I mean, there's kind of some notes, but so why don't you read the topic and then I'll tell some story. I think that's probably the best way to do that.
All right. We'll start out with that power adder class that we had talked about. So you mentioned 8 out of the 9 cars that ran finished with low 9s or better.
Yeah, it was pretty intense to see that many cars go that fast at just a thrown together weekend event. It was pretty badass.
Yep. Kristen Woodard.
Kristen, damn, I was close. Lauren, almost there.
Yeah. All right. So then top 6 ran 8s. Brandon Tapp ran a 14.636 and then turn around and ran an 8.902.
Yeah, that car's fast. That's the 63 Corvette that's like gray with the twin turbos in it, but could not get the car to cooperate on Saturday. It just kept blowing the tires off. And so he parked it and said, hey, we've had a blast. We're going home. So he said, we're not anywhere close.
Yeah, that's such a cool car too.
Oh, it was so cool to have a car of that level at just a short circuit event,
Yeah. And then this next one, I saw pictures of this. Lance Walker in the S10 spit a drive shaft on his first pass.
Yeah, I meant to grab a picture that his girlfriend posted up. Man, he's just in the passenger seat, just crashed out. That was a good time. All right, lead us on to the next one, man. Because hey, that Power Rider class, no joke.
Yeah. Johnny Heller, rear end Howell, ran a 7.944, which was the quickest pass of the event.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. We pull into the Keystone Dam as our last route stop, and he's on the phone with somebody trying to see if they could bring him a ring and pinion right there at the dam, and he was going to swap it out at the dam, but he was like, man, I just don't have time to get it all done and then out and get back to the track in time to make a good pass. And him and Boo left day one separated by 6 thousandths. No, yeah, 6 thousandths. Boo had a 8.1915, and then Johnny had a 8.1975.
Nice.
It was gonna be a showdown on the last day because I don't know if you know Boo Quam so very well, but he likes to win.
Yeah.
And he would have leaned on that car hard. And what was really cool is like Johnny had the Camaro at Rocky Mountain Race Week, and then had just worked on it, gotten faster all week. And so Boo was like, I feel like I had that class covered. And then Johnny knocks off like a 790, and he was like, wait a minute, maybe I don't have it covered.
Yeah.
So it'd have been a good one. It'd have been a great race to see those guys go head to head.
I bet. Next story here, Red Hat Scotty. He switched to the U versus U after a pass didn't show up on his app or his printout.
Dude, he was so mad.
So he was
good reason.
He was in the 650 index class, right? Before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would have been a 6.522.
Yeah. Yeah, it went down, and he ran the 652 in another pass, but his second pass of the night, he has a recording of it up on the board. It's a 10:01 something. I can't remember the third digit, but so he's like, I guess I got to go to U versus U because U versus U's limited at 10:0. That time slip for his second run, which would have been awesome and probably locked him into first place all weekend for the 650 index, but it didn't pull up on the printer. It didn't pull up on the app. So he was like, I have no idea what to do. I don't know what to do. So that's why because they were ready to go to the hotel or get something to eat or something like that. So
yeah, but he did lay down a 10.015, a 10.074, and a 10.195.
Yeah, sadly that won't cut it in U versus U, but very good runs. Very good runs. 10:015, I think, was the closest pass to a 10:0 that we had all weekend. So may look at a 10:0 index for the short circuit 2026. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out which classes and what all everybody ran. So,
but we talked about the U versus U, and it was 0.02 was first place. Second place was 0.022. So obviously very, very tight, which leads us to the next story here. Alex Rodriguez had a split of 0.002 on day one, but he finished in seventh place.
Yeah, it blew my mind. He had a Chevy SS that was out there, and when he left, because he turned his passes in early, and so I was like, oh man, yeah, whatever. I think it was like 1190s, something like 1198 or something like that. He turned them out. I was like, oh shit, this is big time, dude. I was like, you're fixing to scare people into going to another class. And so he had 002, somebody else had an 009, somebody had an 016. Like when we left on day one, it was pretty tight, which is normal because if you run a good time, you can generally loop back around and run something very, very close because the air hasn't changed or anything like that. And so then when I was doing all the awards and stuff, I was looking, I'm like, where the heck is this guy? Yeah, ended up in seventh place, man.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a big swing. Big swing.
Yeah. Next story here sounds kind of fun. Daniel, is it Whitty?
That's how I pronounced it.
Daniel Whitty. Okay, so he made a pass on Friday. had to replace the rear main seal. So he ran home and changed it, made the drive Saturday, and made a pass.
Yeah, and it was fast. He didn't turn his slip in on Saturday, so I don't know what it was, but I know it was quick. But yeah, he come up to me. He's like, "Man, I can't make a pass." He's like, "It'll put oil on the track." He's like, "I can't make a pass." So he said, "Can I make the drive and still make passes tomorrow if I get it fixed?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, dude!" So they went home, pulled the trans, put the rear main seal in, and came back and were ready to go. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
All right. Kyle Merriman had a brake line failure on his daily driver. That's never a good thing. 2021 Ford F-150.
Yeah, so Kyle's one of the photographers for the track, and he was just in his daily because his race truck isn't done yet, which is like a 55 or 7 Chevrolet truck that's going to be bad to the bone. So he's like, I want to have this experience, so I'm going to take my daily. Well, he broke like one of the hard stainless lines that comes out of the brake booster at the top, but is before the ABS block. One, cannot get that part. It's like a back ordered part. But then two, it broke in a spot that he's going to have to remove the steering column to replace the thing. Dude,
No way.
I'm like, car engineers are just jackasses, man. Like he said,
Well,
it's the way it routes around, and like, why would you design something like that?
Well, I can tell you why. The reason they do it is because the next year they can improve it and show continuous improvement. Look what I made this better, less material, less, blah, blah, blah. And then, it's sandbagging, right? You do all this stuff, and then each year you can make improvements. Like, I don't know if that's a real story, but I've definitely heard things similar to that in the past.
Yeah, I would definitely say that's part of the thing. But it's crazy for a late model Ford that's like, I mean, it's from Tulsa. Like it's not like it's a northern truck or anything like that. Like
mine.
There's no rust under the hood, So it's crazy that it busted. I mean, and what's even wilder is it locked the ABS up because there was no pressure. It automatically locked the ABS. So he was stuck at the starting line.
Oh,
so they had to I don't know how they got it undone, but they had to push it off basically. So pretty crazy.
Oh, wow. Rodney here says, I say daily, someone with a college education made this decision.
Yep. Yep.
So next story here, this one matches the photos here, which is actually pretty cool. Yep. Jack and Lauren Crawford had their new baby out for the trip. How cool is that?
Yeah, dude. You remember we were going to do the gender reveal and all that stuff at the Circuit 25? That baby's here now.
Yeah.
So they had her out. It was so cool to hang out with them. That family is so fun to be around. Jack is a great dude. Lauren's awesome. The kids are really cool. They just, I mean, it's a great family of people and love them. He run, I think a 919 was his quickest pass of the weekend. 9139.
And that's such a big car. Like,
dude, like 40,
people gotta realize
300 pounds, something like that.
Yeah, how impressive that time is for a car that big.
Yep. So Dean, the guy that was announcing the first round, my mom's husband, my stepdad, Will Short, was hanging out on the fence, and we were joking about it later because he's like, because he said, he goes, your mom had a car like that, like big LTD, and he said, then that car left, and we were both like, whoa. And he said, as soon as we said, whoa, the announcer was like, oh my God, what is this? So it was pretty cool to hear all those stories.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So congratulations to them.
Yeah. So what's this next one here? Tell me about Jeff Short. Won 2 entries.
Yeah. So every class winner got free entry into the Circuit 2026. So Jeff won one of those. Okay. But before that, you'll remember that morning of Short Circuit, for everybody that pre-registered, I also did a drawing for a winner of that. Jeff won that. So he has 2 entries for the Circuit 2026, which is awesome. I told him, man, give it to whoever you want. Just let me know. If you want to sell it, that's fine. If you want to give it away, if you want to do whatever, let me know, man. I'm in. It was so cool to have somebody win two.
Yeah, just make sure it goes to somebody that comes.
Yeah, for sure.
Bring somebody.
Yeah, we definitely want somebody to be here, and a lot of times that entry is what holds a lot of people back out of the gate, So, or man, really, I think this year it's probably just going to be getting an entry, So, hint, hint, if you're not already on the early list or a previous racer for the circuit, you better get on it right now because it's gonna go quick.
Yeah. Next one here, Sean Larson left home in the GTO, then lost overdrive after trying to get to the car to an event for 2 years. He gets it out, loses overdrive.
Yeah, then go ahead.
Then had a racer pull across in front of him on day one, had to lock up the brakes and flat spotted all 4 tires. So the whole family jumped in Abby's Trailblazer SS.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So they have a black Trailblazer SS, which is what Abby raced this weekend. And then they have a white Trailblazer SS that's just not as fast as a black one. And then they have the GTO, the Iron Indian GTO, which he's been trying to get to an event for like 2 years. Every time he takes it out, something ends up happening. And so, so this sucked because he had to take it home that morning, comes back in the white one. I don't remember the name of the racer that went in front of him, but he ended up like it was close enough. He slid over that guy's parachute.
Oh, wow.
So very, very close. He's like, it could have been real bad. Yeah. So glad nothing bad happened, but pretty wild story there.
Yeah, no kidding. And then looks like last story here, David Miller, fire on the first pass at the end of the track.
Yeah, he was intending to run nitrous and wanted to make a motor only pass to make sure everything was good. And I think that was his 893 pass. And so he goes down, makes the pass, no big deal. The car catches on fire. So he like jumps out. He's at the end of the track, so the safety crew, the truck is running, but they've got to drive down there. Well, luckily he was racing. I think it's Todd Stadel in the black and red C10, like 70 model C10 truck. Todd had a fire extinguisher in the back, grabbed it. They put the fire out, but they didn't have it. Had burned some of the nitrous wiring by the time they got it out. So no nitrous. But the dude laid down 890s and just destroyed the all motor class.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it was not the fire part, obviously, but to be able to continue the event and lay down some all motor passes like that.
Yep, they ran back to the pits. I don't know if the car drove itself back to the pits, and then they ran and grabbed some other some wiring and stuff like that to repair. I think there was one wire, like the tack wire or something like that, got caught up in all that stuff. So yeah, pretty sad that he couldn't put the nitrous on it because, dude, if he's running 890s with, naturally aspirated, I mean, could he have been a contender in Power Adder?
Yeah. Well, this wasn't in part of your notes, but I just added this. Talk a little bit about the route stops. How'd those go?
Dude,
I saw some Waffle House pictures. I edited some pictures for you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
That looked really good. So Waffle House looked awesome.
Yeah, the Waffle House was really cool. Big shout out to Driven Racing Oil. We split $500 with them to cover breakfast for as many people as that would cover. Right, it covered everybody's meal except $7.25.
No way.
Yeah. So the last people that were eating in there got a $7.25 bill. So it's pretty cool to be able to feed everybody and do that. And what it really allowed, I think I've got a photo in here. Hang on. Because this was, this right here. So this is in the Waffle House parking lot. So big shout out to Melissa Morrow for snagging this shot. There was like 10 of us, I think, around Alex's bed talking for a little bit. It was just really cool. Like nobody was in a real big hurry for this one because we had time. We could make, this was at like 9 o'clock in the morning. So we had plenty of time to get back to the track. At this point, we're like 30 miles into the drive. So, we had an hour and a half worth of driving left. It was way more than that, to be honest with you. It's way more than an hour and a half after we left here. So big shout out to Melissa for grabbing this. But the Waffle House was great. The staff was awesome. They had more people than normal for Saturday morning. So it just things went very fast. They weren't overwhelmed. So big shout out to Richard, who's the district manager over there. Appreciate him putting all that together. And then, this all kind of started when we did the Waffle House breakfast or late night snack. Which one was it at the Circuit 23? Anyways,
I think we did a breakfast.
Yeah, I think it was breakfast. Big shout out to William Noble, who put all that together when we were in Springfield. And so, whenever we go to a new area, I reach out to him. Hey, who do you know down here? And, can you help us get in touch with them? And so he helped me get in touch with Richard, who runs all of the Tulsa area Waffle House, is kind of that next level up manager. And, dude, Richard's great. He was like, bring it on, man. Bring it on. We're ready. We've got extra people on staff. We fill the parking lot. So there's a couple pictures that I sent that you edited that it's like all the cars in the parking lot are cool cars. It's pretty neat to see that in Waffle House parking lot.
Sounds like a good person that to have in your contacts going forward.
Yeah.
We'll be doing a lot of stuff around in that area.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. This next year is going to be pretty crazy. And we intend to really wear out some Waffle Houses. Then next we drove the drive from Waffle House to the Auto Museum. Somehow I got all jacked up. Like I'll tell the story here. I somehow misread the directions. Like I'm the one that wrote them.
Right.
Somehow screwed it up completely. And took me forever to get to the Auto Museum. Well, I pull in and I'm like, the first people I see, I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. I don't know what I did. I don't know, because like I usually use Google Maps for the distance. I think about where I want to go, but then I use it like, turn right, drive 6.3 miles. Well, they're like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know what I did. I had to put it into my Google Maps so I could get to the Auto Museum. They're like, dude, I didn't have any problems. I'm like, oh, I'm like an idiot. So like 3 or 4 more people pull in after that. I'm still telling this story. These people walk up. I'm like, man, did you guys have any problem? They're like, no. What the hell? I'm an idiot.
So you can't follow your own directions is what you're saying.
Yeah. Somehow I had missed a turn or something, and it just completely threw off everything I had. Or I think I went like 6.5 miles or so. It was just enough to be wrong. And then when it was wrong, I completely destroyed it after that. So it was pretty wild. But that was the Auto Museum. Was really cool. They actually had 2 cars from Chip Foose in there, like the Imposter. I don't know if you remember that car. It's a 66 or 7 Impala that's had every panel on it touched, but it's like a $2.5 million car at this place that has 34 cars. Like, I think what happened is somebody had a pretty cool collection and they're like, we need insurance and a good place to store these. Why don't we open an auto museum?
Hey, I'm in. Is that so you're telling me that's what I need to do? I don't need to be looking for a shop. I need to look for a place that I can make an auto museum.
Yes. Yeah. But tons of really cool memorabilia. There was like a hand-built little like speedster racer kind of deal. A lot of really cool parts and pieces just around there that were donated from different people and all that kind of stuff. So I think it just was, I want to be an old dude that has an auto museum. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Kind of like the one in Galena, Kansas. Like he has the ultimate, like put a little auto museum on the side of that. And like, you got it made right there.
And that was the feeling we got, like the Hot Rod Hangout and the Gearhead Curios it was like those kind of places, but with 35 cars. So it really had a good mix of a ton of stuff. Like there was some 50s, 60s, 30s, 40s cars in there. There's some late model stuff, motorcycles. It was pretty cool. But I got to talk to Brody Powell and I can't remember her name. Why am I bad with names today? But got to they were from Australia originally and live here now. and it was really cool to see it. Like they had a big map in the back of the auto museum that you put pins in where you're from, all that.
Mm.
And, there was a pin in the exact city where they came from, where they had lived. There was a pin there, and like they weren't on the coast; they were like inner Australia, and so they were like, "I wonder who that was." They're like, "I
Right.
bet we can ask around and find out."
Yeah.
So it's just crazy when you think about like this auto museum is like, I mean, it's literally 34 cars. Like it's
Yeah.
not some big crazy deal, and 1,000 cars or anything. And somebody from an area in Australia ended up right there sometime in history. So it's pretty cool, and it just makes you wonder how many people are going to be visiting that place in 2026.
Yeah. Well, we got about 15 minutes left. Um, we got 2 questions that we're going to answer in the comments here, but
Yep.
your last note here says that there is going to be a short circuit in 2026, which you've already said, and you're working on dates for that. So as soon as we have those, we can start discussing that a little more.
Yeah, it's definitely happening. And I think we're probably going to limit it to 100 cars. To be honest with you, I don't want this to be some 200 or 300 car deal. That's what the
Yeah.
circuit is for. I want this. Brandon Parker said it best. Like, have it be the end of the year party. Have it be the end of the year fun, laid back, relaxing event. I think I'm going to keep the format too. I think we'll go Friday night in a test and tune style, and then Saturday would be open, obviously the same way Friday night is. But if we can work in with the bracket race, I'm not opposed to that. Like it went really well. It really came together a lot better than we thought than I thought it would. I was really nervous about how the bracket racers would accept it, but I think they really dug it too. I think it brought a lot more fans in. I think it gave people a lot of opportunity. What's Tom asking there? Will the short circuit be before the circuit? Nope. It will be an end of the year deal. It will be late October, early November, something like that. Trying to dodge a little bit of weather. We had talked about doing something a little more south. But when you start looking at wanting to have quarter mile times and things like that, you really are limited to like Texas Motorplex. And dude, I don't know. That's,
Don't got the money for that one.
that's a big one, and
Yeah.
it's way away.
Yeah.
I don't know. We may look at Oklahoma City. Amarillo's really too far. But there's a lot of 8th mile stuff. We may look at those too. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that time of year will 9 times out of 10 work for me. This year just happened to be, I was in a 7-week training at work that I couldn't miss. Obviously not something that happens all the time. So next year should be able to make it. And we got a little more time this time to plan it.
Yeah, definitely. Alex Arquette saying start the year with the short circuit and end it with one. That will kind of be how we do next year with the drag and drive or the street and strip series event, that single day being on April 12th. So we can probably work forward of that a little bit and do some fun stuff. So yeah, bring it on, Tom. I'm ready to see you guys race more. I know he's been working on that Caprice a bunch and all of his videos. Lucky 8 Performance on YouTube if you guys are looking for some fun follows there. All right, what's the other question?
We got 2 of them here. Brian here saying time for an all truck drag and drive.
Hey, I'm in. Let's go. We were talking about fast only cars the other day. You and I've talked about at length a slow car only event. That ruffled some feathers earlier in the year. The fast car only thing I think did as well. That wasn't my intention. I was really just asking, hey, do you think this is cool? Which I think it would be cool. So yeah, I don't know. You want to put together one? Let's go, Brian. I'm in.
And then the T German one here, whose rule book is the drag and drive groups using as a universal rule guideline?
This is a tough question to answer. So the rule book that runs the most, that is used the most, is probably Drag Week / Sick Events, just because it probably hosts more racers, right? The Rocky Mountain event, I like their rules better, and it's what we follow at the circuit because we are in the same geographical area as them. So it makes sense that if you're building a car for Rocky Mountain, that car also needs to be compatible with our stuff. We don't want you to have to change a bunch of stuff to race at our event and then have, it change it around to do the other stuff. So it's really, geographically, I would say that probably will maybe answer your question. I would look at them and just see, like, it goes back to, if you have 70 cars, is it worthwhile to really hammer down on rules? Or if you're going to have 70 cars, do you open it up some? Do you let it be kind of open your first year and figure out what you do wrong, right? Because nobody wants to see something ruled to death. Drag Week has 20 years of history. They know what works for them. They know what is going to be cheated. They know what is going to be wrong. They know how to make the difference in a super street car and a street what's it called, um, street race, power adder. God dang, what time is it? So I don't know. That's a great question. I'd love to talk to you about it. Love to see if, kind of how many cars you're planning, what the rule package from there could be. Because again, what is a successful event? 300 cars, 30 cars, 50? Who knows? 10? It just goes back to what you want to accomplish with it. And let's talk about it. I know the rules for the Street and Strip series are going to be very open, kind of like what the Short Circuit was, because one, it's very easy for me to look at. I can look at a car and know that there's no power adder on that car because it doesn't have nitrous or turbo or supercharger or anything. Same thing for a power adder. It makes it very easy. Now, the sad part is a 10-second power adder car has no chance of winning that class if some fast stuff shows up. So, it's kind of a catch-all for the rules. So we will probably add some slower stuff, some index stuff, I want to try and, I don't want to give everybody a trophy. Damn it. It's in a participation deal, but
Right.
there needs to be an opportunity for somebody within, like a 10-0 index probably would have been a great run for this one, because with double entries, you could almost do 650 class and 10-0 index and have a pretty damn good tune up, and be really close in both of those classes. So I don't know. Great questions, man. That's a good one. And then I feel like, or not, I feel like Brandon Parker here says, the Speed Mini says, I feel like Keith Turk has the most influence on rules, and he definitely does. I mean, he's the one that writes them for for Hot Rod Drag Week and the Sick events, which they host 4 of those a year. So, 4 of those a year that are at this level. So should be or 5, I guess, with Drag Week being 1, and then the Sick events having 4 more from there. So who knows? I don't know. Let's talk, man. Again, I love the Rocky Mountain stuff because it's like there's 3 or 4 rules per class, and it's always been very competitive over there as well.
Yes, sir.
So anyways, yeah. So the Circuit 2026. I hope we blew your minds tonight, because we've got the Circuit 2026, we've got Short Circuit 2026, we've got 3 Street and Strip series single day races, and we have the Heads Up Hustle partnering with Drag Driver Pete for a Heads Up Hustle styled event with Pro Mods and Jet Cars. 6 events for 2026. It's gonna be crazy, bro.
Yep.
What have we done?
And partnered with Sick the Mag to do some magazine stuff too. So a lot of new information, exciting information tonight.
Yeah, a lot of stuff coming. This is a good show. All right. Well, anything else?
I think that's about it.
Sweet. Well, dude, send us out, man.
Yeah, let's wrap her up. Again, thank you everyone tonight. Tons of comments. A lot of people talking about all the stuff that we announced. So definitely appreciate the interactions with everybody tonight. Again, this is why we call you guys our race car friends. This is why we have and will always have hashtag race car friends on our PRI stickers. So again, make sure you come by and grab those at PRI. And again, sponsors, we've got affiliate links, we've got discount codes. If you need anything from us to get you in contact with any of these people, please let us know. We'd be more than happy to get you connected to the right person to get you the things that you need. So again, thank you to Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performer-Built Transmission, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk.
Oh, for sure. And to answer Rodney Reeves here, Is Heads Up Hustle going to be at Tulsa? Nope. It is at US 131 in Martin, Michigan, September 11th and 12th. And then Alex Arquette, love you, buddy. Talk to you soon. We'll talk about some 2026 stuff. So, all right, guys, we'll see you sometime this weekend. Probably not Saturday because I have a cheer competition. I have to drive a whole carload of people to. So, going to be a blast.
We will see you when we see you. How about that?
How about that?